structure you've created around yourself to support yourself in reaching your goals. Now, let's go back to goals. Remember all the things you said you wanted to do? You take these goals, you look down at the action items. Now you've got all of these actions. I want to lose weight. Great. 10 pounds. Actions. Hire a trainer. Go to join a gym. Da, da, da. Not you fit. Just kidding. No, we just had this whole, they won't let you out of the contract. We just had this whole conversation about it. So now what do you do with those action items? You put them into your task list, right? With reminders. So every single action item on those pages earlier, every single action item for every single goal has to go into your system. Every one of them. Otherwise it gets lost and forgotten completely. So this is very simple. You have a goal, you have actions around the goal. You take the actions, you put them into your system with reminders. Now, the reminder comes up. You ignore it. Right? Right, seriously, and I do that all the time. So what happens is when my reminder comes up and I need to ignore it and I'm busy, I can actually hit edit and schedule it to re-remind myself another time. Here's the best thing. I love doing this. This is what works for me. I will set a reminder sometimes for myself 5 times in a day to where it drives me like mad. And if I don't do it, I'm like, okay, enough. You know, call so-and-so, call so-and-so, call so-and-so. And I set it multiple times to make sure that it's so present for me that I can't ignore it anymore. And I'm like, okay, fine, I'll do it. It's almost like having somebody, like you've got it was so funny, somebody told me once, they're like, you're like a wife. You know, it's like a wife, it's like Siri. Does Siri do that on the phone? Do this, did you do it, did you do it, did you do it? Okay, so is everybody clear about this structure of having a capture tool and then a system of a calendar and a task management system, or a to-do list, and setting reminders, managing your day? Okay. So the next page is a project planning page, and that's something that you can just use as an extra page to actually plan a project with actions, deadlines, the beginning and completion date, and the comments. If you do plan a project, anytime you plan anything that has an action, where does it go? In your capture tool, in your calendar or your task list. Usually if it's an action, it'll go in your task system, right? In a calendar if it's an event. But that's very important. Okay, now, accountability. The next page is accountability. Accountability is the key. And remember I told you that the generator that kind of runs your day and runs this whole system is reminders? What are reminders? Accountability. Your phone is holding you accountable, really, or someone or something or your system is holding you accountable for what you're supposed to do. And it can be a machine, it could be a person, it could be really any form of accountability that you choose. But without accountability, then you're not going to stay on track. You're not going to get there. Because there's no, it's interesting, when you have someone, you can actually create an accountability partner. So like the two of you at work, you could get together and say, okay, I've got this goal. Actually, all of you could do it at work. You say, I've got this goal. I want to achieve this. Okay, I'm going to hold you accountable for it. So what I'm going to do is every week or every day, maybe a couple times a week, I'm going to check in on you and say, did you do it? How are you doing? What's going on? So now suddenly you've got somebody watching you, right? Because you've said something. You're like, I'm going to lose weight and I'm going to do this. And you said it in front of people, right? So now if there's people looking at you going, okay, that's, okay, got it. You're going to lose weight. Great. So now you're accountable. This is all fantasy. It's made up. Really, who cares? But you think it's important because you've told someone. You've put it out there. And you're going to be embarrassed, right? Or a little, oh gosh, if I don't do this, now I've told all these people. Or I've told this person. So then the person, you can say, my accountability partner, I want you just to ask me. We can ask one another once a week. How's it going? Tell me what's happening. Are you doing it? Did you do it? And if you continue to say no, how are you going to feel? Right. So accountability works. It's amazing. It's in every area of your life. Every area accountability works. You know, that's why at church, when people volunteer at church or work, you know, open the door for people and do things like that. I mean, I did that for a long, long time, and I needed to be there. Like, people were counting on me. It's like, oh, you know, it was important. I was serving, and I needed to be at church, so I got to church. When I wasn't serving at church, I didn't go as much. It's just a different, you know, it's accountability. It's just very different the way that it shows up. So accountability is very, very important in this process. So I want you to, this is another worksheet that you can go through on your own about having a structure or a person who holds you accountable. Very, very important. Okay, now, this is fun. The next page is demands, interruptions, and seductions. Okay. This is real fun. So, I love this because everything I've said is all well and fine and good, but you know what? The day doesn't go as planned, does it? It never does. I mean, you start out and you've got this great plan, and you've done your master list, and you've planned your week, and you've got your day, and you walk in, and it's like, bam, emergencies, this person's got a problem, this is wrong, this didn't come in, this didn't get ordered. You know, everything is just completely upside down. And now you've got like 7 to 10 problems in front of you to deal with, and you've got people, one person needs to, you know, go home, somebody's had a bad day, you're the, you know, somebody's over here just really angry at you, or, you know, who knows what's going on. There's a, you know, a client is, you know, having this huge problem, and you don't know how to fix it. So that's how your life goes, right? So now you've got this plan, and you're so excited about it, and it's all, like, it doesn't matter anymore, right? Doesn't matter, because now you have emergencies. You've got things to fix. You've got things to do. So this is very, very, very important. Okay. When you're dealing with your day, we are bombarded with demands and interruptions and seductions. And what that means is a seduction isn't like somebody coming into your office and trying to seduce you, although that could occur at times, right? And it might be actually more fun if that happens. It kind of puts you in a better space. So seductions mean, like, I'll give you one of my seductions. I like to look at Travel and Leisure magazine and plan trips that I'm probably never going to take. But it's fun. Like, it gets me, it's like, oh gosh, China, or, you know, Cambodia. Like, I'm really not going to go there, but boy, I like to think about it. Then I get online and I'm like, how much would a ticket be there? You know, and it's a seduction. It's taking me away from what I don't want to do. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this at all, but I'd rather be doing this. I love opening mail. Opening mail is fun. So when the mail comes, open it. I'm like, oh, I want to do that. I want to do this. This is more fun. So a seduction is something that takes you away from what you know you need to be doing in that moment. An interruption is simply somebody interrupting you, or a phone call interrupting you, or a person interrupting you, and just kind of getting in the middle of what you have planned. So let's say, for instance, you plan your day, right? Morning till night. You got the whole thing planned. Every hour, every minute, whatever you need to do. And then you get to work, or you're at home, and you're doing what you need to do on your projects, and then all of a sudden there's phone calls, right? Texts, emails, people, and it's one after the other. You get to the end of the day, what happens? You feel like, God, I got nothing done. I don't feel like I got anything done. Why do I feel like that? So this is very, very important. This is a form that allows you to track your demands, interruptions, and seductions. You need, really, really, I would suggest that you do this at home or on your own. This is real important. Some of these sheets are going to be things that you do on your own. It's self-coaching that you can actually perform to make you a better person in all areas of your life. You will see what you're doing. So let's say you're in your office, you're working, or you're at home and you're working on a project, something you want to do that's important, and you get interrupted. Somebody walks in, somebody calls. Start time, 10 a.m. End time, 10:40. Mindless chatting about nothing. You know? You know, and then you're thinking, and then when you see, it's funny, we don't know what we're doing. We don't know what we're doing. And a lot of what we're going to be doing in the next probably 5 minutes now is talking about you need to be present to yourself, and we're not present. We don't know. Sometimes we don't want to know because we want to do mindless chatting. I want to look at travel and leisure. I want to open mail, right? So I want to be interrupted. Please come and talk to me. You know, somebody walks in, I'm like, hi, how are you? You know, or the phone rings, I'm like, hey, what's going on? Yeah. Oh, okay, yeah, you want to talk? That's good. So it's something that takes you away from what you don't want to do. Now remember, you're here, right? You want to be over there. Here is actions and structures and things that you don't want to do, right? Because to get you to where you want to be, you're going to have to do things that you don't want to do.